just for a man.
Welcome to Squatch-D TV, where the truth is first before all else. Join your hosts, veteran investigator, TV personality, and author Steve Kulls, and from the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Project and the Kentucky Fried Fixes channel, Chris Bennett. Sit back and prepare to take yourself on a journey with the longest-running Bigfoot podcast, Squatch-D TV. Here are your hosts, Steve and Chris.
Hey, and good evening, cyberspace. Welcome to Squatch-D TV for today's date. Can you believe it's February 1st already, 2026? And here we are, 8 degrees, gonna be below zero tonight probably again.
Yay!
And I'm used to it now. I can't wait till it gets in the 20s. I'm gonna wear shorts.
Oh, yeah. I think we got up to like a balmy 20-some degrees today, but, at nighttime, it cools back to the single digits. Thank you. But hopefully, it's all right. I don't mind. Doesn't bother me any.
Hey, you know what? I was outside doing it because I fixed my snowblower today.
All right, good deal.
The chute, the pin sheared off on the chute, and it started up. So I had to get that all untangled and bolted back up. And it was about maybe about 15 degrees out, and I'm out there. It's sunny, and I'm like, hey, I feel pretty warm.
Yeah, after been zero, it's 15 degrees feels
zero.
Like
Try like -6, -7.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, and you think about it, -6 to 15 degrees is like a 19-degree difference.
Well, that's true. The car and the Hummer, either one, has not been started since before the storm hit.
Ooh.
And I look out the window every day at it, and as long as it has snow still on it, that's where it's going to stay, because I'm not getting out in it. I think the roads, they pretty much cleared those up okay.
So but, I had to change my snowblower strategy for this one, because at the beginning of last week, we got about I would say about 16 inches. 14, 16 inches. All right. So I changed my strategy. I got the snow blower out of the shed before it snowed, moved it to the front, and that way I didn't have to deal with it trying to close the doors, because you get totally a foreign subject to people in the South. But when it snows out, when it snows out and you open up the shed doors, it's a pain in the A to get the doors closed, because all that snow is stuck in the door jamb. So you're like, I don't just close.
Oh, yeah. We get snow drifts here, too, sometimes, But this is the longest we've had a snow that's stayed on the ground for a long time here in this area of Kentucky. But, had I been like, 13, 14 years old and still had a good sled in operation, I'd probably go sled riding and have fun out of it. But I don't do those things much anymore.
That hurts just thinking about it now at my age.
Yeah, just walking up the hills. Riding down might be fun, but pulling the sled back up the hill, no. That's not fun.
So it has been a very interesting week, to say the least. As a lot, I've been talking about it. I switched jobs this week, so I spent the whole week in training. And
what do you think about it? You like it?
I do, but it's like they were like 10-hour days. The training was just so intense.
Oh yeah,
and there's homework assignments and stuff like that. You get paid for it, but so that's why there was no show this week. And next week, or this coming week, I should say, I can't necessarily guarantee a show on Wednesday, because I'll be doing field training at some point. So I don't know if it's going to be, where, or, I may have to go 2.5 hours to do field training. So
Yeah,
know.
I think everybody's understandable.
Yeah,
You know, you start a new job is stressful. There's a lot of stuff you got to do, and plus, it's not like if you have to work for a living.
And now I'm a 2-phone guy again.
Oh, okay.
Because I had to deal with the company phone, and there's a lot of setup stuff. They got to set up our email accounts. They got to set up our, our Microsoft account for the job. Make sure we know where to do, and there's different layering systems. It's probably one of the most IT-driven companies I've ever worked for. So.
Yeah. Oh, multiple phones is kind of, you got to watch out that. I saw a story about a girl in Thailand. She had like 4 phones, and they asked her, why in the world do you need 4 phones? She said she had one for each boyfriend. Oh.
Sorry for those guys.
One for each boyfriend. Okay. Yeah.
And we're going to do our roll call in a bit. And I just want to say hi to my good friend out there, Sarah. Incredible young lady dealing with life, not dealing her a hand of cards because of health. And, I met her at Hocking Hills last year. Mm. And I think I may have mentioned that on the show before.
I think so.
And, she sat with me at dinner, and such a nice young lady, her dog Blue, her husband, just wonderful people. Her husband is former Air Force to boot.
Oh, right. Sounds like a good man to me.
And he is. And, when they were like, she was so excited to meet me and hang out with me and whatnot. At the end of it, I felt so humbled by it, because here's this incredible fighting young lady that's going through, whenever life can throw at you. And,
yeah.
But she's in our chat tonight, so hello, Sarah. Love you, kid.
Sarah, welcome.
Give Blue a pat on the head for me.
Blue.
And
dog named Blue.
Yeah. So yeah, it was quite the experience meeting her, and a very positive experience. And I'm so glad I got to meet her. Some people change your life and change your perspective on things, and she certainly did. So, anyway. Now that we got that over, let's do our roll call, Chris.
Roll
call. Who's here? Who's not?
Up and up. Boy, the chat is hopping. Look at this.
There it is.
I'm still scrolling up. Golly, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
That's right.
All right.
First in tonight was the Reverend Quantum Bigfoot. Hello, Reverend Quantum. I don't know if you're still out there. Grant Rasha. Good to see you. Mick,
Grant.
the mighty Mick is in.
Mick.
Roy Longley is in the house as well. Who else we got?
Representing the lurkers.
Let's see. We got Walter Kroll. Hello, Walter. Danny Weeks, Southern Sierra Bigfoot. Hello.
Good day.
Mitch Hartgrove, good to see you. Sir Pat Collins, what's up, my brother? The Beatron in the house.
Beatron.
Ianagan Gibran. Yeah, it's some kind of Gaelic name, it appears to be. I figured that one out.
No, no, that's just not in my vocabulary, but I'm sorry.
George, you got an idea?
No. Sorry.
Well, good to see you back tonight.
Welcome, EO. Yeah, welcome.
Sandra Piper's in the house. Ron Meldrum,
Sandra.
Hello.
Welcome.
Jen, our bouncer, is in the house. I'm sure she's got her office assistant Baron close at hand. Robert Denduvin, good to see you.
Man, I'm lost now.
Oh, I go with Don Gamau Jr. Hello. Good to see you. Of course, there is Sarah.
Hey, Sarah. Yeah, welcome.
And Arthur Watch is in the house. Sally,
Arthur.
good to see you, Sally.
Sally.
Smedley Do Right. Hello. Mike Stanton, how are you?
Mike.
Now this is where it becomes a little different. Sharon, good to see you, Sharon, over there in Belgium. Corn Cob Say in the house as well.
I love that name. Corn Cob Say. Okay.
Texas Jack. Hello, Texas Jack. Good to see
Texas
you.
Jack,
Back
welcome.
again. The Susie Monster. How can we get Susie Monster?
Susie Monster.
Shorty Hens. What's up, Shorty? Good to see you.
Shorty.
Gianni.
Johnny, welcome. Good
Johnny's
to see you, man.
in the house.
That's very late over in Europe.
Hey, guess who is back? And we haven't seen him in a while in live stream. The Sandwich Savant is back.
Savant, welcome. Happy Sunday. Yes.
Happy sandwiching. Roy Longley, there he is, lurkers in the house.
And Sarah said happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Poop. Everywhere. Poop.
Yeah, I'm at the age where you kind of look at birthdays and go, ooh.
I look at it and go, wow, I made another year.
Next year, I don't want to even talk about it.
I keep telling people when I was, when I was born, the letter Z was still in its testing stage.
Well, a good friend of mine told me, he said, when I turned 50, he said, that really bothered me. And then when I turned 50, I thought, well, I don't feel any different. I'm fine.
That didn't bother me.
Yeah, next year is 60. When I turn 60, I think that's going to bother me. It's bothering me now, just thinking about it.
Well, no more. I ain't far behind you. I'm 59 in a couple of months. So
I feel kind of bad. Well, I'm the youngster of the bunch tonight. I just turned 57. And that bothers me.
Well, you're just a kid, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a kid.
57.
No, the 40-somethings are kids.
Oh, that's true.
yes, definitely.
That's
Yeah. When we become in our late 60s, then they become whippersnappers.
Yep. I agree with you on that.
Oh, man.
So anyway, one quick note. Despite all my work this week, all the running around, when I turn
148.
Reverend's so old, he could have been the busboy at the Last Supper. Anyway.
Oh, man, Rev.
But, someday I'm going to have to, when I'm so old that when I was born, they didn't have a medical term for hemorrhoids. No, I don't know.
I mean, apparently, now, I don't want to get into politics or anything, but apparently we had a lot of 150-year-old people in the United States drawing checks. So, that's,
Yep.
people are living longer, evidently.
Well, you never can tell. It's that.
That's right, yeah.
So anywho.
Sorry, Steve.
Despite all my busyness this week, we did manage to get out and on in time. Our first edition of the Squatch Detective Report. If you have not signed up for the free newsletter, you can do so at squatchdetective.com and just navigate to where it says the Squatch Detective Report sign up. So there's our first episode, our first newsletter right there.
Did I get mine?
I certainly did send you yours.
Okay.
So
That's nice.
Let me open up my.
That's real nice.
So if you guys, I don't open up my email very often, guys. And if you message me on Facebook, just forget it. I might see it 6 months from now because I never go in.
And again, any link that is in that diagram, like when it says YouTube channel of the month, if you click on that thing, it will go to that channel. Click on video of the month. You click on it, it will go to that video. So,
awesome.
Oh, yeah. There it is. It came. Wow.
There you go.
You guys crack me up.
Oh.
It worked. No 404 error. You know what's going to happen if I get the infamous 404
I'm going to open
error?
mine up, so if I start glitching, just
like I put a link in there and it comes up to 404. Next thing you know, all you'll hear is.
No, this is good. I've not read it yet, but I'm not going to read it during
Susie
the
Monster.
show. But it looks good.
It does. Nice layout. Very nice layout.
Computer, be quiet.
Yeah, it worked out. It really worked out well. When I was designing it, the design was actually done before I announced the actual newsletter. because I wanted to make sure the product looked good. I wanted to kind of make it look to the day, more like a newsletter of today. And that's why the links are really important. And a couple of fun things to try to throw in there, like fun animal fact of the month, or forensic evidence tip of the month and stuff like that. So
yeah, you set mine back to the past.
Thank you, Grant. Thank you.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out on February 1st, and I got mine on January 31st. I don't know how he did that.
Because I sent it out at 12:01
Eastern time. Yes.
So I was early for you. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was good.
All right. Are we all set to go? We want to talk to our guest today, who is author George Lunsford. He is a resident of North Kakalaki, the Tar Heel State, of course, for those who don't know what the hell I'm talking about, i.e. the folks from Belgium or England.
Southern Sierra Bigfoot. Oh my gosh, $10. Say something good.
Walking down the street, don't know what to say. Tripped over a Bigfoot. Hey. No, I don't know. Anyway. All right, let's get to this.
Hopefully the whole show would be good, but thank you.
But thank you,
Thanks
Danny.
So much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
So I'm just going to, let's go right to George. And George, you have the floor. Tell us, how'd you get involved in all this? What, a little bit about your background. We don't need a DNA sample, but that would be nice.
That's good. Okay. Well, I've been researching and reading about Bigfoot since the early 70s. I started with the Legend of Boggy Creek, like most of us. We watched the movie. We got enthralled by the creature sticking his arm through the window to get the guy on the toilet. So, but I've been researching and reading ever since then. I actually got into the field work about 3 years ago, doing the field work with my good buddy, Robert Effler, which we met at one of the conferences. And that's when it all started. And we went and started a new team, started just me and him with the original, me and him and our producer at the time was Eric Collier out of South Carolina. We started a podcast called NCI, North Carolina Investigates. And now we've got people all over the country part of our team. We've actually got Martin Groves as one of our team members. We have Willie and Jeff from Mountain Monsters, our team members. We have about 15 or 18 all over the country total that are our members. We go out and chase Bigfoot. Myself, I've done a little bit of everything. I was in the military. I made explosives for the government afterwards. I've done everything from being a maintenance man to building houses to, I was an actor for 15 years on the side. I'm a writer. I do a little bit of everything.
Generation X, jack of all trades.
That's it, brother.
Know what
That's
you're talking
it.
about.
That's right. My father used to call me a jackass of all trades.
I've been called that a few times.
Dude, I'm training myself up for the next better paying opportunity. Exactly.
That's it. But
so it's very hard in this field sometimes to navigate your way to good people.
It is.
You managed to do it. Many others have managed to do it. Some not so much. But then they go on a dark path in the field. They look at bad evidence. They look at crazy ideas that are improvable. For example, I do not believe Bigfoot's the Anunnaki. I just don't.
No.
But some people do. And that's okay, because you can believe whatever you want.
That's true.
But you also have some other disciplines in the like the paranormal, ghosts.
I do. Yes, we chase ghosts, we chase UFOs. I've had a lot of encounters with ghosts. I died once and come back.
Oh,
I've
no.
seen 3 UFOs so far. I got pictures of more. We actually my wife went out during the when the northern lights come all the way down to North Carolina. She went out and took pictures of the sky. And we started looking at those pictures, and we found objects in the sky that wasn't lights. It wasn't stars, incredible shapes. We actually got some behind the house that looked like there was an opening through a portal almost like you could see somebody looking at us. But I've had an interesting life so far. I've seen all kinds of cool stuff.
You know, I don't want to jump the show off subject or anything, but George, did you see anything odd when you died?
No, actually, it was one of the coolest things that ever happened to me. Everything I felt so relaxed and calm and just at ease.
Yep.
And I seen, I was in a hospital. I died of pneumonia. And the woman who had died in that room before I got there was the one who was waiting for me when I crossed over. She was standing beside my bed, and I woke up and she was standing there. I was like, "Who are you?" She said, "It's okay, honey. No big deal. Just relax. Everything's going to be fine." I looked around the room, and the room was normal, but the clock had stopped. And there was a figure standing in the corner. It looked like, for lack of a better word, it looked like an angel. Like the wings folded up, he was standing there, and all you could see was shadow, and you could see his eyes. He had the prettiest blue eyes. I've never forgot them. They're the prettiest blue eyes you could ever imagine being looked at.
You know what my fear is?
What?
I end up on my deathbed, hopefully like 30 years from now, 40 years from now. And I open up my eyes, and all of a sudden I hear something.
Joan, get me a Snapple.
No!
That's pretty cool.
Anyway,
That's interesting. Yeah. I always ask somebody like that because
Mick, the portal was in reference to the UFO, which, the Skinwalker Ranch supposedly are starting to explore that potential because of some of the laser work they were doing, and they would shine a light. I mean, very, very interesting stuff they're doing over there.
Yeah, I've been watching, keeping an eye on all that. There's actually a lot of, they found out with the that collider, they've actually opened up an area to the 5th dimension. With it, they've actually opened it and was able to see through it. And we were being watched from the other side at the same time. That is all written down in their scientific journals.
I don't know. I'm skeptical.
Hey, the way things are advancing nowadays, nothing surprises me. When you start hooking up a quantum computer to AI, that changes the whole ball game right there.
Yeah, that's what that's their next goal is to do, is to hook the quantum computer up to the AI, and they're looking at miniaturizing quantum computers. They're trying to really, because if you look at a quantum computer, it looks like, the computers of the 60s, which took up rooms.
Well, the problem that they found out last time they hooked it up, they had to disconnect it really quickly because the calculations it was running was what they couldn't control. So they disconnected it pretty much right after they connected it.
So I don't know if anybody caught that little conversation in chat. Mick goes, "Did I hear the word portal?" So I clarify it about the UFO UAP. And then Sandwich Savant says, "We hear the term portal these days and our eyes glaze over, even in better context."
That's funny.
But, here's the interesting thing about, I don't know if you've read Lou Elizondo's book.
No.
Okay. So and we're going to get back on the Bigfoot topic. I just want to spin off this. So
it's still mystery.
How he described it, what the scientists described to him, basically, they believe how they, they have propulsion, how they work in propulsion, is that it may appear to us that they're coming out of a portal, because they're moving super fast compared to us. And to them, we're moving super slow. That's why there's never any kind of contact. And what they do, it has something to do with Einstein's theory of relativity, and they can bend time and space a bit.
Yeah, the Rosen or something bridge.
Right. So that's why they look like they, when they shoot off, it's because they've hit that threshold of their propulsion system.
Like the Matrix scene where Keanu's dodging all those bullets.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's cool. A good comparison. I like that.
Oh, here's another one. Johnny said, I died after a very serious car accident. I knew I was dying and wasn't scared. I was at peace with it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Hang on, I have to yell at the dog. Will you stop licking your paw?
I'll try.
And you know what? When I say that to him, he looks up at me. And right now, he's looking up at me with a smile on his face. Just staring at me like,
Nick says, I make no claim to no knowledge, but I challenge the notion of the Hadron Collider opening a portal to the fifth dimension. Firstly, how the hell did it know this? Well, I don't know either, Mick. It could be the 28th dimension. We don't know.
I'm just going by what I read.
I'm going to look into it now.
Was it on the internet?
Well, I read it on the internet, then I went and looked it up through scientific documentation.
Gotcha.
I'm
not saying.
I never believe anything I read on the internet. I have to usually back it up with some kind of connecting stories or actual files.
Well, the dying part interested me because I was technically dead in 2017 in the back of an ambulance. I remember nothing. The pain in the chest went away, and I just dropped off to blackness, sleep.
Really?
And then I woke up suddenly, and the guy was standing, the EMT standing above me, and said, "Welcome back."
Wow,
I remember that to this day. Welcome back, and I was like, "Appreciate that, thank you."
I woke up to the alarms going off, my door being slammed open, and people running into it.
You could be like a certain veterinarian who woke up and her pants were undone, according to her, and it was Bigfoot's fault. But I digress.
Well, Bigfoot gets the urge. I mean,
yeah.
Hello, baby.
Anyway, let's get back on topic. So, you start getting involved in Bigfoot research. What was the first round of equipment you bought? What was, going out the first time? What did you feel? Did you think these people were nuts, or did you?
Well, no, I didn't think they were nuts. I've been reading about it. So I knew there was something there. I watched the Patterson-gimlin. I've watched the uncut, uncensored version of the Honey Island Swamp Monster, which was incredible footage because he got it on a Super 8 camera from a tree stand. And I watched everything I could about it. But when we got out there, one of the first ones we went to East Tennessee. It was me, my buddy Robert Effer, and his wife Michelle, and we met up with Harley Owens for the first time. And we was over in East Tennessee, and we got out. We started finding sign almost immediately. When we got out to the research area, we found, the broke trees that have been twisted off. They had the short splinters, not the long ones where the wind broke them. We found trees that had been arched over with a pin put on the top of them to hold them in place. We found a dogman track. It was probably, I'd say, 8 inches wide. We found a piss post, which was been peed on from about 4.5 foot up down. Whole side of the tree was black where peed. Harley gets his nose real close to it. He starts sniffing it like a hound dog. Then he starts going, "Hut, hut." I come that close to just pushing his head into it, but I didn't. I was being good.
Well, what do you think that was? You think that was some sort of territorial marker there or something? Or?
It had to be. Well, wolves and dogs and stuff will mark their areas by pissing on it, on a pee post or a stump or something.
Well, primates.
Yes, and primates as well.
Chimpanzees will do that.
Yep.
As well.
And it had to be something big because it's about 4.5 foot up that tree where it started at. So it had to be something big. And we found a ambush area. What was so cool, we found this incredible ambush area where 3 trails actually came together. And in the corner of that trail, something had built. I'm assuming it's Bigfoot because I got in and put my arms out. I'm 6 foot tall. And I spun around and couldn't touch the walls.
Mm-hmm.
In this little ambush area.
Was it a structure like made out of down trees and stuff that had been drug up?
They've been stood up.
Okay.
It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And it wasn't teepeed though. They were standing straight up, and it's like they had took vines and wove them in and out of the logs to hold them in place.
Wow.
So, were there any impressions on the ground?
No, the only impression we found was in that wet spot where we found the dogman print. And when we come over the hill, something in front of us had just come through because the print we'd found was slid in the mud, and the water was just getting back into the print.
And it was just a single print.
Yeah.
See,
but the ground was so hard over there in East Tennessee.
And I'll be square with you. The audience here and even myself, we're very, very skeptical of the dogman.
Okay.
Just because the leg structure doesn't necessarily look like it doesn't work for bipedalism.
Okay.
And then so we're very skeptical based upon that. I think there are some dogman sightings that are actually Sasquatch sightings that people kind of have their, because what happens is just for the audience, so they get a little refresher. What happens, I think, in some of these cases, is people see something, and what happens is and this is very common with witnesses, they fill in the blanks with what they know. So that's why I think we have this phenomenon of dogman sometimes.
Well, now, you got to remember, dogman goes all the way back to 400 BC.
I would love to see a dogman print.
And vampires go back even longer.
Right, but the dogmen were actually talked about by Marco Polo, Christopher Columbus, and what was his name? Alexander the Great. When he Alexander the Great, when he did his sweep through the top part of India, he actually talked about battling the dogmen, and the dogmen were discussed as what St. Christopher was actually believed to have been a dogman until the Russian Orthodox Church changed his pictures and made him more human. So, I mean, there's recorded history that backs up a dogman. Actually, just about as much as you have for a Bigfoot. You just don't have as many sightings. Not in America. But, I mean, everybody has their own beliefs. That's fine. I ain't no problem with that at all.
Hey, I would be happy to look at a print. I think, the footprints that are left on the ground are, physical evidence of something left that print, I don't care what it is. I love to look at tracks and prints.
Oh, I do too. It just makes me happy.
That's very interesting. So as an aside to the whole Alexander thing, ancient and medieval writers describe the cynocephaly, meaning dog-headed people,
right,
as legendary tribes living at the edges of the known world. These accounts appear in mythological and travel literature, not in military records. And according to this, it says that none of Alexander's actual historians like Arrian, Plutarch, or Curtius Rufus, which, by the way, My dog's middle name is Rufus, and he's not courteous. But anyway, they do not mention anything like a Dogman encounter. And why Dogman gets attached to Alexander, he traveled into regions unfamiliar to Greeks. Writers later filled those blank spaces with monsters, giants, and exotic beings. And over centuries, those myths got recycled in modern cryptid lore, sometimes treats them as eyewitness accounts. So in ancient times, they used to, that's why you have like the Odyssey and, right. So
I actually wrote about the Odyssey, some of the Odyssey in my latest book that's coming out.
Yep.
Well, George, does a dog man footprint, does it look like a large dog?
Well,
or
this is where there's question, because some of the dog man prints look more like a long dog print, like it's got the back part of the leg into the print, and some of them look like just a very large dog print. There's a lot of different beliefs in that and why they change, why they're different in some of them.
Right.
Some of them are more believed to be like their ancient dog men, where they have the longer print, almost like a human foot with a dog print part at the front of it.
Right.
And the newer ones are believed to be anything from a mixed dog man with a wolves, or mixed dog man with Bigfoot, or government experimented creatures. I mean, there's so many beliefs out there.
I was getting ready to say, a lot of times the people attach the dog man to the skinwalkers mystery.
They do that too, yes.
Right.
But there's a lot of different, I mean, it just depends on what you study, because you can find so much out there that doesn't have any basis to it, and you can find a lot of stuff that does have basis, whether it makes sense or not.
There is a mental condition to where a human suffering from this condition thinks they're a wolf. Mm-hmm. So, that was believed to, and I can't, off the top of my head, I can't recall the name of this.
It's called Warren Zevonism.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I have no idea what it is.
I'm kidding.
Good. You had everybody believe it.
Now I'm going to have to look it up. But anyway, you could understand if some guys think he's a wolf. Okay, that's where the stories of the wolf man came from. But
it's just like zombieism.
There's no way he could change his physical foot, though. You know what?
Right. Well, there's a lot of zombieism. People believe that zombies will just you died and reborn. And actually, zombieism started back when I think it was Haiti or something. They had a disease go through, and the medicine they give them actually turned them into they're paled out, their eyes got black, and through the healing process, they were basically a walking zombie. They had no thoughts. They just did things. They didn't speak anything else. And then when they come out of this disease with this medicine, everything was normal again.
So the term, Chris, you're talking about is clinical lycanthropy.
Yeah, that's it. That is it. Lycanthropy, right? Yeah. They think they're a wolf, and but they're
it's
actually
classified as a delusional belief, not a separate diagnosis. Usually occurs in the context of psychosis, severe mood disorders, or neurological conditions reported in schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and psychotic features. Major depressive order with psychosis and some neurological illnesses. The person may report changes in body shape, hair growth, teeth, urges, or behavior. I don't know. I just keep wanting to lift my leg on that tree.
But even though they have that belief, that delusion that they're a wolf, that they can't change their foot structure.
If you go to the park and you see a guy lifting his leg on a tree, like a dog, move away quickly.
Well, there was also that disease where their body got covered with hair. They used to see people in the circus like that. They call them the wolf boy and wild boy. Yeah, everything grows in their hair and everything. Yeah. So there's different reasons for different things, and I'm not saying I have all the answers by any means, because I have no answers.
Yeah.
I can just tell you what I've experienced out in the fields. All I can do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting though, you start looking at some of the stories behind the stories, and you're like, huh. Now getting back to the Bigfoot, I will say one historical account is, like in Vermont, we have an account by the biographer of Rogers Rangers, claiming that in the Green Mountains they had to repel a group of bears throwing rocks at them with a volley of shot. Now, could that be Native Americans with bearskins on? Although that was very uncommon for the Northeast, the Iroquois Nation to do such. But it definitely is bears do not throw rocks.
No, I've been around a lot of bears, and they don't do that.
No. They may try to talk you out of $5, though. but they don't throw rocks. So let's talk about any apprehensions you had going. Did you have any apprehensions going into this at all?
No, I never, honestly, to be honest, I didn't think I'd ever see anything. And I was very skeptical of my first sighting. And about that last time, we went down, we did our search, we looked around, we seen other sign. And I was like, okay, we've seen some broke trees, we've seen some stuff. Okay, that's all well and good. We were coming back, and my buddy Harley pokes me. He said, let's go down this flat and come up on that hill over there. I said, okay, Harley. Now you got to remember, this has been an overcast day. It snowed. It's kind of a hazy looking day. You can still see real clear, but this was kind of not a happy day as far as the weather goes.
Right.
So me and Harley goes down this flat. We're looking around, and we come up on a hill, and right straight across from us is another hill, and there's a little valley with laurel thicket in it, or rhododendrons. And he pokes me and goes, there it is. I said, there what is? He said, that's a Bigfoot. I said, Harley, you're out of your mind. That's a shadow. He said, no, I'm telling you, that's a Bigfoot. I said, that's a shadow, Harley. He said, wait right here and keep your eye on it. He starts down the hill, and when he starts down it, he steps on a stick, a fresh green stick, and it snaps. It sounds like a shotgun going off. Pow! Well, my shadow stands up and grabs the tree with this massive hand and arm and leans over to see what that noise was. And now I'm watching this thing. I mean, it's only just barely a few seconds. I'm memorizing everything that this thing's doing. I can see where the top of its head is, and it has hair sticking up on top like this, like alfalfa. And it's solid black.
A bad hair day.
Yeah. A solid black.
Something, by the way, none of us have.
No.
By the way.
Kind of envious with him. So, but when he stood up, I memorized it where he stood up at. And like an idiot, I holler, oh, shit. And I took off after it because I'm not real bright. I'm chased after a creature that could rip me in half and eat me without me being able to do anything about it. So I run down the thicket. I pass Harley and come up on the other side. Of course, this thing's gone. Mm-hmm. And you could see where the foot was, because I remember how the foot was turned, because I remember it just stuck in my brain. Everything stuck when I seen it. There's 3 perfect toe prints. Okay. And I look on the tree where I seen his head was at, because I memorized it. You know how if you see something shocking, it almost stays in your head? Well, that's what it was for me. It stayed in my head. So I run my tape measure up. It was 8.5 feet tall.
Oh, it's big ball.
It was 4 feet across the shoulder.
Yeah. So
and this thing moved like a lightning bolt.
Like a football player, or was it built like a basketball player?
It was built like
bulky.
King Kong shrunk down to 8.5 feet.
Okay.
I mean, it was just the muscle. It had muscle definition. Bears do not have muscle definition. They do not have shoulders.
Right.
The bears are, you can tell different. Anybody's been in the woods more than 15 times and seen animals, they can tell the difference in them. If they can't, something's wrong. I grew up in the mountains, so I know every creature that's out in the mountains. I've seen them all and chased them all and been chased by them all. And this was nothing I'd ever seen. In my mind, your mind runs to that Rolodex trying to figure out what you've seen. The only thing I could figure was Bigfoot. And it was the smartest creature I've ever seen, simply because where he was at, he could watch the main trail coming up, he could watch the side trail, and he could see everything we did the whole time we were there. from where he was at. And he had laurels pushed up on one side. He had two big trees and laurels pushed on the other side. He had a tunnel he could walk up and down without ever being seen, no matter what size he is.
Well, what about the terrain there? Was this was it hilly, kind of flat,
it was
or
hilly, hilly and mountains.
Okay, was he located kind of elevated up on the hill a little bit, or okay?
Yep, it was up on the hill. Because I was looking from one hill, looking straight across at him to another hill.
Right.
And there was nothing in between us but laurel thicket down below us.
Yeah.
But
I don't want to, rat out your area or anything, but
you're fine.
Is there any waterways or rivers,
down
creeks
below it
nearby?
Yeah, there's a river down below us.
Okay.
And where he was at was the perfect hunting area. He could sit up there and watch everything in that valley we were at. He could see everything.
Or it could be a decent resting area, a decent area to, catch a nap.
Yeah.
Because of that security feature.
Oh, yeah. And when you went down this little tunnel he had made, it was probably, I'd say about 20 feet long. And then he had opening on both sides of it, left and right. So we take off down this little tunnel, me and Harley does, and Robert starts screaming on the radio, "What are you guys doing? What are you guys got up there?" And something had scared some crows that shot over top of Robert's head. He said it sounded like a bulldozer cutting through the woods. As soon as he said that, it stopped that quick. So we drop off the left side of that hill and start down. And the only thing I can think is we're in this really thick laurel bush area.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, because you can't see more than 3 feet, I'm thinking this thing's going to kill us. Because it had every opportunity it wanted right there.
Well, George, you talked about you went through the tunnel, or was this something that was made by the creature, like with trees and stuff?
Yeah, it had pushed the laurels bushes, it had pushed them up to the sides, like a hedgerow.
Okay.
So my question is, because we don't want to add, I always look at things from an anthropocentric type of view sometimes. We call it a tunnel. All it may be of creating is just an egress to get out in and out. And maybe
that's all it was.
Rather than, per se, it knows to make a tunnel. It's been traveling this area and kind of worked its way through so it can have a nice, easy.
Well, I just wanted to clarify that this was made with trees and stuff or bushes, not an underground.
No. It was. It had pushed the laurels up to the side. It had a clear path. Right. So it can move in and out easily. It can move without ever being seen.
Right.
Now, do you have an explanation for the three-toed track?
Well, I didn't. There was it could have been other toes there, but the only thing I seen was the three toes that made the impression in the soft dirt.
And the explanation I tend to give to people is that because of the not mechanism. Well, it has something to do with mechanism, but the motion of a Bigfoot foot with the mid-tarsal break kind of puts the pressure more behind the toes than it does on the toes itself. Like us, we have a ball of the foot. So that's why when we step, our toes are very, very, prevalent. But in a Sasquatch track, some of the toes may not capture. So I don't want people thinking,
no. I'm sorry. I didn't explain that well. What happened is there was some soft dirt there.
Right.
And when it stepped down, the three toes hit the soft dirt. And usually, like in East Tennessee and here in the Western North Carolina, usually the ground's so hard you can't get a print because it's all rock and everything. So you really don't get a print. Every now and then you might find some loose dirt or something where you might get a partial print or a piece of print. But yeah, we expected when we cut down through there after we started, we thought, oh crap, we're going to get killed right here. But what we believe happened, we can't prove it, but what we believe happened is when we started down, it hurt us. Start down through that laurel thicket, and it just curled right on the other side of the hill away from us to keep itself hidden from us.
And, George, a lot of times there's reports of a lingering odor in the air, and sometimes there's reports there was no odor at all.
I think they turned it off and on like a skunk.
Okay. Did your encounter, did you have any smell anything?
Not Not in that encounter, no.
Right.
But we've had some interesting ones.
I think that's always interested me. Some of the reports, they say, oh boy, it was really stinky. And then another report, didn't smell a thing.
Yeah, I mean, both my visual encounters I've had never smelled a thing.
Yeah.
But the day we got our track and heard something walking by us, boom, that smell was there. And we don't think it was too happy with us being there.
We've had a lot of encounters over there as far as noises, and that's why first time I got hit with infrasound was over there. And it was the first time I heard the Tennessee, which was weird because I was the only one that heard it.
Sound like people talking or like
something like that. And it caught me off guard because I thought the guys in front of me were talking. So I'm hollering, what? And they're like, we didn't say anything. I'm like, okay, quit screwing with me because I know you're talking. I wonder what'd you say. We didn't say anything. And we went on a little farther. I heard it again. And something was paralleling us the whole time. See, that's the bad thing about in the Smokies over here and in East Tennessee, they use laurel thickets as hedgerows and stuff where they can stay hid. And you can't see them, but they can be 5-10 feet away from you and you'll never know it.
Right.
Because they're smarter than that. They know how to use their environment better than we do.
Yeah, Mick says, I think the odor is more primal, triggered by emotions, especially when it's something sudden. I would agree with that, Mick.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you. Yep.
Yeah.
Like when it's an immediate threat, boom.
Like a skunk.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, it's like skunk, death, garbage, wet dog, musk, all rolled up into one. I have been a paramedic. I've been in houses where people have been deceased for 2 weeks. And, because they're checking on this 80-some-odd-year-old woman. And she's been down, and the police are there, and they get the fire department. Fire department cracks the door. They let us in because we're the medics to, confirm if she's, if this person is alive or deceased. We walk in, and all I have to go is, oh, yeah, deceased. I don't even have to. I don't have to even examine the body. I can just smell this. That's the smell of death.
Exactly.
And
like a burning body, you never forget it.
Right. But when I smelled that lovely fragrance in November of 2006, the day we got the Fort Ann cast, I remember smelling that, and it's something you don't forget. And it is something that is worse. That is like the most foul thing. It's even worse than that person that was deceased for 2 weeks. That's how bad it was. And I don't know if it was because of the proximity, because we estimated it had passed, because where we found the track was only about 25 yards from where we were standing, maybe even less. And we could hear it. As we were doing our thing, it walked up from behind us and to our left, and then kind of went in front of us and kind of petered off towards the 11 o'clock. And at the same time, my old mentor, Bill Brand, was at the base camp, which was by the cars. He was camped out by the cars, I should say. And that's where it was heading, was towards the roadway. And he heard something grumble. And when he came back, he says, I just heard something grumble a little while ago. And what it was it was just moving through. But Bill couldn't see very well at that time. So being dusk, he would have been really not been able to see anything move across the road or anything like that at any distance. So when I go up there now, and that's my research area 1, when I go up there now, I always put a night vision camera on the roadway, and it can shoot down the whole road. So if anything crosses the road while we're there, hopefully we'll catch it. But anyway, I digress.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
But what did you do after the sighting? I mean, did you poke around what other clues did you find in, the area?
Well, we'd seen where they had been going down to the river. We've seen, a huge path where it looked like a buffalo had been running up and down it. And we found they had stacked up walnuts on a tree stump. Well, they had broken them up and set the shells up. I've never seen raccoons or squirrels or bear stack walnut shells, and
Right,
these
yeah.
were stacked up on a stump.
And that's one of the little known secrets that that a lot of Bigfoot researchers have. If they find certain things like empty turtle shells,
Yep.
or clam shells, nuts, or the shells of the nuts,
Yeah.
you'll find them almost piled like a human ate them or such. So yeah, it's one of the strange things we tend to see sometimes
Well,
out there.
we was in the LBL. We were way back up in the woods, way away from the river, the lakes and stuff. We were way back up on the mountain, up at the LBL, and we actually found mussel shells stacked up.
Yep.
So
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I love the LBL. I want to go back against it, but I can't stand it.
That
Oh,
happens.
there's Bigfoot in the LBL. Oh, let me not go there, Chris.
There's everything in the
mussel
LBL.
shells. Mussel shells. Mussel
Uh-oh.
shell stacks. Yeah, real common.
Chris's internet is burping just a little bit as he's getting a little.
Oh, sorry.
Looks like you're in time lapse.
Oh, sorry.
Now we've lost your video. Oh, there you're back, but you're very blurry.
Well, seems like I'm. Let me see if I'm cutting out here. It doesn't seem to be cutting out.
Yeah. You gotta smack the modem over there in Kentucky. Get those squirrels running that wheel a little faster.
Oh Lord. Let's see what's going on here.
Okay, you're looking better now. It looks like it was just a temporary.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We could always hear you.
Okay. Well,
Half the time, I don't need a microphone for people to hear me.
it's showing a good signal. I
I'll
don't
say
know.
about me too, Steve. Don't feel bad.
My wife's best time in the world was when I had laryngitis.
Thank you, Mick. Mick said Chris's video looks like what you'd see on a space station at the last moment before it blows up.
Yeah. He looked like one of the Klingons on the moon of Praxis.
Well, they probably changed the squirrels that run the squirrel cage that powers the internet. They have to do that every now and then.
Did you get the screensaver with the fire behind you?
We're lucky to have
This
internet.
is the
really.
moon Praxis.
Oh man!
And then you have to speak Klingon.
But I can't see anything happening on my end. So sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
I was waiting to see him speak Klingon personally.
Hang on. Hang on, Chris. There is a message. There is a message for you from the Kentucky internet provider of your internet. Hang on.
Okay.
Hey, we're sorry about that. We were running around the wheel and we tripped. So now we're all better.
The squirrel trip.
There you go.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
Well, I'm surprised. We haven't been without power. We have had working internet. Maybe almost working internet. So it's been. I thought we've been pretty lucky over this whole storm.
That's
in this
good.
area. Now there have been a lot of people that didn't have power because of their lines. Nashville really got hit bad.
Well, we were definitely blessed here. We didn't lose power or internet, so I'm thank Lord for that.
Yeah.
So
amen.
how do you guys think that, like, Bigfoots in New York are in Vermont, in New Hampshire, and Mass? They're used to seeing this type of weather pattern. For you in the lower tier of the country, how do you think this affects the creatures?
I don't think they pay much attention, to be honest with you. I mean, they all still have basically the hair that is waterproof. They have the fat layers. They have the same thing all the rest of Bigfoot have.
Okay, fair enough. How about you, Chris? What do you think?
Well, when it comes to the snow and the bad weather, I think they huddle up somewhere. I think they hold up somewhere. They're not out in it, or if they are, they certainly aren't in the areas where they normally would track around. Because, I keep saying this, you've heard me tell it 1,000 times. When John and I went over to our research area, we thought, oh man, we got snow on the ground. We're going to find tracks everywhere, dude. We're going to get them. Not a single thing. Right. Not a single sign. I don't blame them. I would be like, laid up in a cave or whatever, some sort of cover or some sort of structure, whatever you can do to get out of the weather.
We've actually we have more activity in the wintertime than we do in the summer.
Right. That's interesting. We have more activity summer and end of summer through the fall here in New York. We do have a little bit of activity in May, and we have little spread. Most of the winter activity ends up in Vermont. And if anybody got the Squatch Detective report, I talk about the Vermont report a little bit.
Not read it yet, but I'm going to. Spring and fall is the Kentucky time. Now I'm sure they're probably hanging around in the summertime, but I don't go out there because we have to wade through rattlesnakes and copperheads, and besides that, if they're 15 feet away from you, you can't see them. They just completely disappear with the forest floor coverage.
Oh yeah, that's what it is here.
All these little bushes and green leafy things get in the way. But now in this early spring, late fall, when all the leaves are gone from the trees, man, you can look out across and you can see a lot of open area. Well, you're not open. You see a lot of trees, but if you see a dark spot with this leafy background, now you can concentrate. What's that dark spot? And that's why I love to go up when there's no leaves on the trees.
Oh yeah, and the snakes are in. Don't do snakes.
Are frozen. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do snakes. I tried to avoid going Bigfoot hunting, and the snakes is out.
So have you been to the Southwest?
No, I wished I had.
Okay, so if you go camping in the Southwest and it's on a cool Arizona nights, because a lot of people think it's warm all the time, and there is like a 45 degree shift in Arizona and New Mexico from day to night.
Yeah.
And if you have a campfire going at nighttime and it's cold out, you tend to attract scorpions because they're arachnids, and arachnids like heat. That's why you get spiders in houses in the wintertime up here in New York.
Yep.
Not so much during the summer months. But and that's always something that you're in a tent. It's nice and warm in your tent. And now you got to worry that a scorpion might sneak in. And, wake up and have one of those little, one of those little 8-legged freaks with a stinger on it. Yeah. So it's just if you ever go out to the Southwest, just be aware of, starting a fire on an Arizona desert, a campfire, that it was going to attract scorpions.
Well, the snakes love to crawl up next to the highway at night in New Mexico. And I guess they're seeking that warmth from where the road was heated during the day. At nighttime, it gets cold.
Mick remembers your Indian snake dance, Chris.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Should I demonstrate?
The Indian snake dance.
Should I demonstrate the Indian snake dance?
I don't think you can.
Oh, here we go.
That was pretty close.
That's pretty good. I like that.
That was pretty close. Yes. Of course,
that was good.
Your eyes should have been the size of dinner plates.
That's the first time I've ever done that on the show. Is get out of my chair and do something like that.
That's pretty good.
If you break down on the side of the road in New Mexico at night, stay in your car. Just trust me, okay? Trust me.
Well, if I go out west, I'm only going to probably go out towards Wyoming. So,
yeah,
my brother lives out there. So,
I'm not sure. It's probably not very snaky up there.
Well, it looks very similar to the Iranian Army's minesweepers. Ever see those guys?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stomping around. Oh, man.
All right, enough of that.
Oh. But yes, we do not like snakes.
No,
I personally don't like snakes. And
I do not either.
I will go out of my way to end one.
Yes, sir.
Mick says, Steve, what was it? You broke the illusion that you were hosting the show in your undies or Speedos. Sorry, Mick. Sorry. That's why I'm not standing up.
I have a leather chair and I don't want to stick.
No.
You know, you get that little type of noise when you get up.
Yeah, that's not a bit comfortable.
I am on point tonight.
You are. You must took your pills today.
Oh, let's stop talking about snakes. I don't like snakes.
Okay, I have no problem with that.
So you had more than one encounter, George, with these
I have.
creatures.
We've had a bunch. We spent a lot of time in the woods there for a while, was as much as possible, and we found one area in our western North Carolina area where they had little ones. And I got to see a little Bigfoot, and I got growled at and threatened by a mama Bigfoot. That was not fun.
Well, do tell.
We went into an area, and with Harley, it is Harley Owens, Tim Dills, Robert Effler, his wife Michelle, and me. And we went into the area, and we found lots of sign, and this is one of Tim's areas we used to go to all the time. Lots and lots of sign. We found where they had pushed a tree down and made an arrow, pushed two trees down and made an arrow that pointed towards the creek. And up above that was a bedding area we found. And man, you talking about that smell? Right. That bedding area was covered in it.
Yeah.
And again, Harley gets in this thing and he starts to hold,
right.
That's Harley's trademark where he's going to puke. And we looked all, we found all kinds of stuff there. We had rocks thrown at us. We heard it coming down through the trees and it hit in front of us. And one weird part of that, one part of that was Tim actually walked down to that arrow and he walked all the way down and we were filming. And we didn't notice it at the time, but when we went back and looked at the film, about probably 10, 15 feet behind Tim, you seen two eyes open and close. At about 9.5 feet in the air.
Well, this been at daytime or nighttime?
Yeah, daytime. And we went on up and we found a place that looked like they had, now you're going to think I'm crazy, but it looked like they had made a playground area for the little ones. They had trees pushed this way and then this way and then another one this way, like a bars, for kids to play in. And the ground was all tore up there, but it wasn't done by turkey and it wasn't done by pigs. Because you can tell when hogs go in and run up, you can tell when turkeys go in and scratch up. If you've been in the woods any time at all and you know animals, you'll know the difference.
Yeah.
And it looked like something had been playing there, the way the ground was kicked up. And I turned, something caught my eye and moved. I turned my head and it wasn't 30 feet away from me.
All right.
Something about 4 foot high, running on two legs, was going up the hill. It was a reddish brown and went up the hill probably 20 feet and dropped. And I lost it. And all of a sudden, something come down off the other side of the hill past Harley into a deep part of the woods. So me and Harley and Robert Effler's wife, Michelle, we go up the hill. And we noticed beside the game trail that's running up and down this mountain, and their sticks stuck in the ground. They go about probably 6 inches deep, and they're all stuck in at an angle, ever 5 to 6 feet, all the way up that hill. We get up there and we found another bedding area, and it was extremely strong with smell. I mean, even I was gagging in because it was rank. And we were researching that, checking everything out, trying to find hair and everything. When Michelle moves over and Harley walks over beside her, and we get this deep growl that you can feel more than you can hear. It's almost like it's beating against your chest.
So is that growl, would you say that is very low frequency?
Low frequency and very guttural. It was a warning. I mean, there was no question about it. So I pulled them back, and we said, okay, we're going down the hill. I don't think I've got enough ammo for this.
I'm sorry. I this really fascinates me.
Oh, go ahead.
So was it a growl like a or was it more like a?
It had, best way I can describe it, it kind of sounded like more of a chatter type growl, but it was so deep, and you said you could feel it. It was like it was hitting against your chest when you heard it. I'd never heard a growl. I've heard bears growl at me. I've had, bobcats growl at me. I've heard a cougar, but none of those were even close. I mean, they wouldn't even, the tone and the depth and the vibration we were getting off of it was something I've never felt before. And I'm 58, ready to be 59 years old here in a couple of months, and I've been in the woods since I was able to walk up in the same mountains.
Well, did you save any of the bedding material or collect any of the bedding material?
No, when that growl hit, it was time to leave.
Gone. Okay.
Yeah, it was like that. Your sixth sense that tells you what's good and bad, or tells you to run away or not. Well, this one was telling me, get your butt off this mountain now.
Something tells me we need to get out of here. That's it.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I mean, it's just you look at your sidearm and go, that ain't big enough. And I carry a 357. So
yeah. With did you notice in the bedding material or the bedding area, were there any small insects flying around it, or
no? That was the weird thing. There was no bugs in it at all.
Okay.
And it stunk to high heaven. But everything was matted down. Almost, it was almost like they'd weaved the grass, because you could see where it'd been like weaved together almost like this. But it was strange, and you couldn't stay around long. The smell was just overwhelming.
Well, did you notice? Again, I'm kind of sticking on this, bedding area, but were there any holes in the ground in the bedding area? No,
everything had been pushed and woven. Nothing. There was nothing other than the sticks that was stuck in the ground. Everything. It was. The only way I can really describe it is if you've ever seen the films like it over in like the Congo, it's like that, where the natives take the limbs and weave them together and fold them in and weave them to make. Well, they can't get wet during the wet season and stuff like this. That's kind of what it reminded me of. If you take when you build the lean-to, how you weave everything together, lean-to, so you don't get water through it. That's exactly what it's kind of like.
That's
do we have any pictures of those beds, or did you just you got out of Dodge?
No, when that thing growled, it was time to leave. But it was interesting.
Well, that's the thing with the bedding area, man. I ran across that similar, what you're describing, except this was on a hillside, and they had a nice bed of leaves there.
Yeah,
and it was not really that stinky, but it was more like a wet dog, smell around it. But there were holes. Looked like somebody took their thumb and poked a hole down in the ground. And not, it was in the woods, so it was not where a squirrel had been digging for nuts. No, this was a very, straightforward hole poked in the ground.
Yeah.
And that's why I was asking about that. But I did not get any, if I could go back in time If I knew then what I know now, I would have took a black garbage bag with me and I would have recovered all that material.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
At that time, they didn't have eDNA, you know.
So,
Yeah.
Chris, I want to ask George this question. Does that look at all familiar to you?
Yeah, somewhat. Not not exactly what we've seen, but it does got some stuff I've seen.
Right. So what you're looking at here is actually an orangutan bed.
Okay.
And they tend to weave them as well.
Okay.
So I just wanted to point that out because I think the audience would find that very interesting.
That is a primate, right? Behavior. That is a primate behavior documented. Right. Yeah.
And they will also fashion blankets to cover themselves up, intertwined with leaves. So very
cool.
But we had. I found another while we went back into the same area last year or year before, I can't remember now, and we found some more of those holes, and I was like, "Ooh, this was exciting."
Yeah. Well, the thing about this one is it was so big. Like I said, I'm 6 foot. Hardy's about 6'3", 6'4".
Right.
We were both inside this thing.
Yeah.
So with plenty of room to look around and check things out. I mean, that's how huge it was. Both of the bedding areas. Yeah. I almost believe, and if next time we go back over, I'm going to see if I can check it out. But I think that upper area, way up on the mountain where they had all the laurels pushed down, I think that was actually where they were birthing them.
Mm. So my question would be, did you find any scat?
Not that time. We have found scat before, but we didn't find it at that particular time.
In that same area?
We found scat in a couple of different areas we've been in.
Right. Because one would think that you may have actually not found where they were technically living, but they were actually just kind of like, we're gonna chill here for a little while. Let's hang out. Resting, and took the time to do some of that weaving just because, or it may have been because you guys got there and shuffled them out, because usually after nap time, what's the first thing you do? You go to the bathroom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think we did something.
Not in my life. My life, I go right to the coffee pot. But
yeah, well, that's me. I think what happened after we left there, when we went back, it was all torn. It was all gone. They removed it all, and the same thing happened in East Tennessee. We went back over after we had touched some of the stuff that we were finding. We touched it and was examining it, and we went back. A lot of our evidence was gone, and it had different evidence we found. Like that ambush site they had, it was completely dismantled and moved.
So, Mick, that photo you're looking at is an orangutan bed. It's not a Sasquatch bed or not an evidence picture. That is an actual orangutan bed in the wild, coming from Sumatra.
Yeah. So, we think, according to known primate behavior, it would not be impossible for a Sasquatch to do something similar.
Oh, no.
But it would probably be much, much bigger than what Steve showed in the photo.
Yeah.
Right. And there was no scale in that photo either. So that's another thing.
Well, that's true.
Oh. Okay, it says, EO says, wet dog doesn't stink. Okay.
I guess it depends on if the dog's clean or not when it's wet.
I don't know.
Well, there it is, because he hoses them down. But when you have a wet dog that has rainwater and you mix that in with rolling around in the grass and stuff like that,
dogs, it's not just the fact that they've been wet. They have a natural musky odor. And we've got 9 Yorkies, okay, and they have their weekly baths, and they're all kept spotlessly clean, except when it's 0 degrees. They didn't get a bath this week, but they can go outside.
Why not? That'd learn them.
They can go outside about 15 minutes and come back in, and even though they're freshly bathed, oh boy, Oh boy, it's really musty smell.
And the fact is that if you're keeping them indoors most of the time, they won't smell. What happens is you add that water to the odors of being outside for so long, and that's what amplifies that kind of wet dog type of smell.
Yeah.
And when they find something dead to roll around
it's kind of like an earthy type of smell almost, like a really, that's like somebody's taking some smelly dirt and putting it in your face. But that doesn't explain totally the Sasquatch. That's only one element of it. There is a skunk-like odor, and I understand why they would call him the skunk ape in Florida from the time I smelled, because there was like a skunk piquant to it, if you may choose the right proper terminology. But it.
So we think they got some sort of gland probably in their armpits.
But what told me it wasn't skunk as well, it didn't linger. Skunks, when they let out, it lingers because it's in the air and it gets on surfaces because they spray. Right. And let's just say something got sprayed by a skunk. It just didn't linger. So I don't know. Maybe the skunky smells because they got hit by a skunk. I don't know. Who knows? Skunk's good eating for a Sasquatch.
I would say so.
Oh man,
I wouldn't eat it, but I'm sure they probably would.
Just stay away from the piquant side of it.
Yep.
Well, that reminds me of Four Corners Crypto.
Yep. No lie, Sally. Chris has 9 Yorkies.
Yeah, we got 9 Yorkies.
And when I show up to his house, they're very excited to see me. I got Yorkies in my lap, Yorkies on my feet, they're awesome.
But we had too many. I would prefer to have maybe 1 or 2 at the most. But the wife loves Yorkies, so here we go. But
Chris has been overridden by the wife.
If you keep dogs in the house, of course, we keep them bathed. But still, when they go outside, especially in the summertime, when they go outside for a few minutes, they can be smelling wonderful. I mean, even like kind of perfumey before they go outside. When they come back in, boy, they're stinky for a little while. It wears off, either that or we just get nose blind to it.
Mick got me again.
I'm not going to read that, Mick, but I will put it
Her
up there.
Her meatloaf smells deceptively good. Oh. That's the line.
Deceptively good.
That's the line that got me. Her meatloaf smells deceptively good, though.
That's pretty good.
Deceptively. Okay.
Oh, that was a good one.
Well, again, I've never had a bad meatloaf. I've had some that were better than others.
So you guys got out of there. How long have you been back to that same area?
Oh yeah, we've been back several times.
So
we actually give up part of that area because we had bear hunters move in.
Gotcha.
And when the bear hunters move in, the Sasquatch move away.
So if you ever find that again, a similar thing, have you got a game plan, or what are you going to do?
Oh yeah. We're better now about gathering evidence, using gloves, using the paper bags instead of plastic so it doesn't degrade. We got all kinds of measures now we take, because we were all pretty early into it back then.
Yeah, and
so now we're
what year was
much better. Oh God, I don't even remember now. Everything's running together so much in my old brain.
5 years ago, 10 years,
a couple of years ago.
Okay, yeah, and it's only like in the last couple of years we're talking a lot about eDNA. So, collecting some of that stuff would be great for just grab a whole bunch of leaves and some. That would be a great for an eDNA sniff.
Yeah, if we don't have anyone we can really send this to over here. We don't have any. That's what we're going to try to find now, is someone we can send samples off to get tested and stuff like that. We've lost it. I don't have anybody to send to. We were working with Melba Ketchum for a little while, and I've got all her stuff out, that the research she did in the genome area. And we really don't have anybody anymore, though.
So I don't know what your thoughts are on the Ketchum study, but we had Dr. Hart on, and of course we had Dr. Meldrum on, and even read Dr. Sykes' books. And unfortunately, Dr. Sykes and Dr. Meldrum are no longer here, but her genome study was so flawed and had so many things that were incorrect with it, and seemed like almost they were trying to fit the evidence to their own hypothesis and what they believed the Bigfoot was, rather than just do that. So good move getting away from that, especially since her she got censured in Texas by the court commission on forensic evidence. She can no longer testify in trials as to DNA evidence.
Oh, okay.
Because she omitted some stuff during a homicide trial. So they actually told her, and she didn't even follow her own guidelines. So that being said, I know there's the possibility is Dr. Darby Orcutt, and he's right there in your state, North Carolina State. North Carolina State. So if you go to DarbyOrcutt.com.
Yeah, I've got Darby on my, he's one of my fan things.
Right. So he is, the go-to guy right now. And he's not a PhD, but he is a professor. And over at, I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to say the University of North Carolina.
Information technology. Yeah.
Yeah, but what he's doing is trying to coordinate different experts.
Yes.
But because we have broached him with an item as well, but unfortunately, because of the eDNA testing, the supplies, for whatever reason, when the project was funded, I don't know what happened to it, but now we would have to get funding to submit these samples to, pay the workers and pay for the supplies are relatively cheap, he said, but it's the payment of having anybody process the stuff. So,
and let me get a question.
Thank you, Sally, North Carolina State. Yep.
Robert Dindubin says, has George ever had activity around the city of Hendersonville, North Carolina?
I have read about it, but I haven't got to go out and investigate anything around Hendersonville. No.
And let's see. Sally says, question for George. Do you plan to go back after bear season? The Bigfoot might return after the hunters disappear.
That's what we're hoping. Well, that's just one of we got I think a total of 15 or 20 different research areas. We've just, when they come in, we just go to a different area.
Right.
We've got some in North Georgia. We've got some in Western Carolina. We've got some in Tennessee. So we just move back and forth. Depend upon where the activity is, we go to a different area. And we're getting more because we're getting a lot more people in our group. So we're actually spreading out. We got people in Alabama. We got people in Georgia. We got people in Michigan. We got people here and there all doing the same research, working. We're all working together.
Right. But Sally, I think the proper time for George to talk to Darby is when they actually have the evidence collected.
Yeah.
And that would be a question I would have for you, Mr. Steve Kulls.
What's that?
If a person was out doing research and they found a suspected bedding area, and they wanted to, well, I would personally, I would rather bring all of the ground litter from the bedding area. What container should you use?
Paper bags.
Yep.
Only paper bags?
Only paper
plastic
bags.
degrades the DNA samples.
Yep.
Okay.
Because it holds in the humidity.
Okay.
I do know Bigfoot has a sense of humor, though.
Yeah. You're walking in the woods one day and you're by yourself, and all of a sudden you hear something walk by, you see a shadow, and then you hear.
I had the smart idea of hanging a camera up in the tree, shaped in this shape, and I made a bee's nest and everything, hid it inside the bee's nest. Now, I measured it. I run it 15 foot up into the tree. Come back, it's completely destroyed. and my camera's laying 15 feet away from the remains, and a peanut butter jar is sitting above the camera, and then the lid's sitting above the peanut butter jar.
And they do tend to play, but see, a bee's nest to me is not a great place to like hide a camera.
No.
Do you know why?
Well, the bears just come into it too.
Right, but they love that honeycomb. That's sweet, and you know that's unfortunately sweet is one of a primate's. We have ecstasy taste centers, and there's two of them. We have sweet. Any guess on the other one?
Spicy,
salty.
Okay.
That's why some people can take or leave sour stuff. Like, ever give a baby a lemon and like, right? They're like, but, and that's true. There's videos of that. It's kind of funny. They give the baby the lemon. The baby like makes this mug like, what the hell did you give me? But yeah, that's salty. Why. And if you think about it, peanut butter intrinsically tastes salty.
Yeah,
with a little hint of, if you get them honey roasted peanut butter.
That's what I put out.
It's both.
Peanut butter,
and that's why we love. I don't know if you ever saw the Family Guy episode, how Reese's peanut butter cups were made, but
I missed it. I'll have to catch it.
Yeah, there was a two guys, driving, and one was eating peanut butter and the other was eating a chocolate bar, and they crashed. They both landed on the hoods of their cars, and
okay.
You got your peanut butter and my chocolate. You got my chocolate and your peanut butter. Hello, I'm Officer Reese's. Are you guys okay? He got my peanut butter and a chocolate. He got my. He takes it. He tastes it. He's like, pulls out his gun, kills both of them.
Oh, that's terrible.
And that's how Reese's peanut butter cups became made.
Very dark humor, that one.
Yes, it was.
Sally said another question for George. Do you ever get recordings of vocalizations or knocks?
Yes, Tim does that for us. He's the guy he's the one in our group that does all the recordings. We got hours and hours on one audio recorder of something sitting there and breaking little sticks beside the recorder. And it gets up, you hear it walk away, and it comes back and it starts breaking the sticks again. And when we went to the recorder, we found piles of little sticks.
So have you got any vocalizations on the recorder?
Yes, he has got vocalizations. He's got knocks, everything.
How about really low ones, like anything like that?
Yes, he's got growls and everything. He's supposed to get a hold of you about that. I don't know if he ever has or not.
Now, please have him forward me a couple of samples. I'd be interested.
Okay, I told him he's supposed to get some to you. He's got about 2,000 hours he ain't listened to yet. So,
and Don Gumow, we were talking about the bedding areas earlier. Don Gumow Jr. said use the bedding area for a couple of nights and see what happens.
If I could stand the smell, I probably would have.
That'd be an interesting experiment.
So here's a very interesting little tip being a paramedic. So sometimes you have to go into a scene that, this person is like, whoa. Or you go into a house that's not so good, or, you're dealing with. So always carry a little jar.
Vicks Vapor Rub.
Vicks Vapor Rub. And if you get onto that, you just take some of that, rub it on the end of your nose, and that blocks it out for quite some time. And all you'll smell is lovely menthol.
Oh, wonderful.
Yep.
I had to rub some of that on my Yorkies and see if it helps them.
No, you gotta use it on yourself. Not on the. Okay. Otherwise, we'd have to run out there and get Bigfoot and go, "Hey, come here, rub this on your nose." No, that doesn't work that way, Chris.
Mick said, question for George. Are most encounters in North Carolina classified as Class A, B, or C type encounters?
Well, we've kind of had all of them.
Yeah.
We've had everything from visual, peek behind trees, run across roads, to hearing them. And we I don't really know how to describe all of them. We've had a lot of encounters.
Corncob says, was that North Carolina that had helicopters hauling a Bigfoot to the Army base?
Oh, I have no idea about that one.
Yeah,
I think that was Mount St. Helens, I think.
Yeah, that was Mount St. Helens, and we talk about that and how that's really just. You think there's anything left of a Bigfoot after a pyroclastic flow?
I'm not sure that
Probably
that
not.
really happened. Yeah.
Wasn't that really a bear that was supposed to have been a bear, a grizzly bear?
Yeah, there was a picture of a helicopter with a Bigfoot supposedly by chain, but actually it was something else. It was not a Bigfoot. Somebody got really smart and either had AI do it or they just happened to, use little CGI stuff.
And Southern Sierra Bigfoot comes out, says,
yeah, very
George,
true there, Mick.
do they look like Fatty?
I haven't seen the females. I've only seen a couple of the males, and I've seen the little ones. But
So are they're hefty or are they lanky?
Well, the ones I've seen was hefty. Now the one that was I seen people find the tree, he was kind of lanky, but he was pretty much a juvenile. So he was skinnier than he was thicker. Because we come off one of our research areas, was sitting at the truck, and I was sitting out, and there was a hole through the woods. I could see through it, and something kept sticking out his head and pulling back. Check out his head, and it looked. You could see it moving it like it was looking at me. He'd pull his head back. I was like, I just sat there and watched it for probably 5 or 10 minutes doing this behind the same tree, moving back and forth and looking at me. And finally, I just got tired of it and took off after it. And we get up there, and there's a big square structure where the logs have been laid over each other about maybe 2 foot high in a square. And everything's matted down in it, and everything above it has been woven together, almost like it had a place to relax and watch us. And from that area where when we found that structure, you could stand there and see everything up the road and where the cars were parked and everything without ever being seen.
So Mick has a question there, Chris.
Question for George. What does he know about the kid who went missing in North Carolina years back, and who claimed creatures took care of him?
Oh, the one, the little boy that said the bear brought him back.
Oh yeah.
Yep, I remember that.
Right. But then it turned out somebody was saying his uncle was nicknamed Bear. So, but I don't know.
Well, what's funny, the area they swept, they come in and they did the big sweep through there, and there's no kid, and they was looking around, and the kid walked out of the same place where they had already searched.
Yeah.
Well, that just goes to show you when you're in, it's so hard in the woods to just, you talk to amateur hour people and they're like, well, what? Bigfoot doesn't exist. Why haven't it been found? We have all this technology. So a lot of people forget the Centennial Park bomber, Eric Robert Rudolph.
Yep.
Went missing. And I think in the Appalachians very near where you are.
Not far from me.
Yeah. And they looked for him for 2 years using helicopters, using FLIR helicopters, using Rangers, hundreds of people. And it took 2 years later. And you know where they got him? Him in his city coming down to rummage through the garbage cans because he was looking for food.
I could go out right now. If I didn't want to be seen, I could hit the woods. You got just in 2 of our national parks here. We've got a bunch, but just in 2 of them, there's over 1 million acres. I could walk out there right now and disappear, and nobody could find me if I didn't want them to.
Right.
I mean, there's caves. There's so many places to hide. You could and survive out there with no problem.
Yeah. What was the name of that guy? He was a Native American that walked out of the woods. Supposed to be the last. I got to find his name.
Well, they just, remember back in the 70s, they found an entire tribe of Indians that had left America and went into Canada that they thought it was all dead. They hadn't seen them since like the early 1800s.
And when they asked them who they were, they said they were the Fagawis.
Yeah.
And they're like, the Fagawis? Yeah, we're the Fagawis.
Okay, here it is. His name was
Think
Ishi.
about it.
I got you.
His name was Ishi, and is widely considered the last Native American to emerge from the wilderness, having walked out of the California foothills near Oroville on August 29th, 1911. The final survivor of the Yahi tribe. He lived for 5 years in the University of California's Anthropology Museum, providing invaluable knowledge about his culture. I'll be dang. But his name was Ishi, I guess. Ishi. And nobody knew he was out there. He just walked right in. Hey guys.
Well, the funniest story I've ever read in my life. There was a guy, the scientist, he was looking for a rare elephant down in Africa. They searched everywhere. They used all this technology. They looked everywhere trying to find this elephant. And he was in one of the tribal areas and was talking to the chief through a translator and was asking about this elephant. And the chief just pointed behind him, and this whole elephant herd walked behind him. It was what he'd been looking for the whole time.
So here is a very interesting story about another person that was in the wilderness let me just tell you what this is. The name of the person was Haru Onoda, and he was an Imperial Japanese Army intelligence officer who continued fighting on the Lubang Island in the Philippines until 1974. Nearly 29 years after the World War II ended.
Yeah.
He was ordered in 1944 to wage guerrilla warfare and never surrender unless formally relieved by a superior officer. He believed that the leaflets being littered to ground saying the war was over was just U.S. propaganda. And his training emphasized endurance, deception, awareness, and absolute obedience. So in 1974, a Japanese traveler located him, and the government then brought Onoda's former commanding officer, now a civilian, to Lubang Island so he could relieve him. Only after receiving direct orders in person did Onoda surrender. Oh. Wow.
Well, that's committed.
That is
committed,
a cool story.
That's
and
awesome.
Actually, he became a national figure afterwards. And then he eventually, get this, what did he do after he came back? He founded a school for outdoor survival.
Oh, I'd say he's probably good at it, yeah.
I thought he knows what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, that's a heck of a reference, you know. Well, you know, I've lived out here since World War II, so. Dang. But what do you say, George, when people are skeptical of Bigfoot, or they say, "Oh, you didn't see no Bigfoot," you know?
Oh, I've heard it all.
They don't exist. You know,
yeah.
What do you say?
One of my favorite things, the guy said, "You've never seen one. You know what he's talking about." I said, "Okay." He said, "What you saw was a bear." And I said, "Well," I said, "You're welcome to believe what you want to believe, and that's fine. I'm not here to change your mind. Your opinion means nothing to me. But you can believe what you want to. I've seen bear. I know what bear look like in the woods. I know what all that stuff looks like, and I know what I saw. So, like I said, either you can believe it or you don't have to. It's totally up to you." Well, if they want to get real smart, I'll say, "Okay, have you ever seen $1 million cash money or $2 million cash money?" Well, no. Well, how you know it exists then? I've seen $2 million.
So
cash.
you know what? I tend to take that particular argument a little differently.
Okay.
You'll have a hunter say, "Oh, well, what you saw was a bear." Okay. Have you ever seen an elk before? "Oh yeah, I was out there. I was elk hunting in wherever." Really? No, what you saw was a deer.
Yeah.
See, what you don't understand is I wasn't there when you had your elk encounter.
Right.
You weren't there when I had my Bigfoot encounter. So
There you go.
who are you to judge me? What I
Exactly.
saw.
Yeah.
Well, I figured this way a long time ago. I'm not going to change anybody's mind because if they've decided
Right.
there's no such thing as Bigfoot, then there's nothing I can do to change their mind.
Right.
I can tell them my stories, what I've
Well-
experienced and seen and everything else. And if they can either choose to believe it or they can choose not to believe it.
Believe it or not, the best way to convert the non-believers into, well, wow, now I have some food for thought, is to show them the real evidence.
Yeah.
Show them. Don't convince them to say, well, here, and if they raise any objections, to say, let me finish my presentation, and you can ask all questions at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And
I do that. We do that at the
Yeah.
shows. We present pictures. We present castings of everything we've got. We show it to them and we explain to people. And you still have some of the diehard people that are, no, 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 no. And, you can't get through to them people. So I'd rather talk to the people who believe or want to believe or understand that there's more out there than what we see in our little world.
Right.
So, that's just the way I am.
So here's an interesting thing. You said the word believe, and Chris, that if you read the newsletter, I actually talk about the word believe.
Mm-hmm.
And, basically that belief, I base my belief, like any investigator, like any scientist or any researcher, based on the evidence.
Right.
Not
Exactly. Yeah.
not people tend to think belief like a religious belief or without foundation.
Yeah.
Not every belief or the word believe is based upon things that have no foundation,
Faith.
Right.
Yeah.
right? And I'm not talking about faith, but the word believe. I believe that the Houston Astros cheated in the World Series several years back, right? Well, you got no evidence of that. No, but you know what? I look at how they're acting and yada, yada, and then evidence comes out. Well, now we know they were cheating. But until that evidence comes out, it all depends on what you're basing your belief upon. Is it based on evidence or is it based on what you read on the internet?
Right.
Big difference.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
anyway, Chris, we better start wrapping up.
Being a conspiracy theorist has seemed to
last
paid
few-
off here the last few years.
Yeah, I know. Any other? Please keep the questions flowing for George here because we're just about running. We got about another.
Some great questions too. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Hey, I'll do my best to answer anything you got. I ain't no expert, but I'll do my best.
And I think I always tell everybody that I'm not here to convince you. A lot of times we go on some forums where people are skeptical, and they'll say, "So you've seen Bigfoot? Convince me it exists." No, that's not. I can't convince you. Matter of fact, I suggest that you remain skeptical. Remain skeptical until you see one for yourself.
There you go.
Then you'll understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, because until you make that contact like I did,
Yeah.
you can be skeptical all you want to, but when you're looking 20 yards away from a creature that's that big, looking at you going, just kind of turning his head,
Right.
nothing's going to change your mind until you see it. And once
gotta
you've
see
seen
one.
it, ain't nobody can tell you you're wrong.
You got to see one.
And you get so overwhelmed with, I got hit with so much adrenaline, my whole body was shaking.
Oh, did you? Were you sick after your encounter? Did
Wait.
you feel-
I got a response to that from Mick. Put that comment back up.
Mick said, "Steve, you leave my Astros alone. You hear? Or you'll be getting some meatloaf in the mail."
Well, it'll that meatloaf will never make it through customs.
Oh man.
No, I wasn't sick at all after that. Only time I got sick Bigfoot hunting is when I got hit with the infrasound. And it was only a short, brief. When I got hit by the first time, everything went the opposite. Like ground went to the top went to the bottom, left went to the right, and right went to the left. I was just totally confused of where everything was and couldn't focus my eyes until I grabbed a tree and leaned up against it and took a couple of deep breaths and it all went away.
Did you feel any vibration in your chest or in your ear or anything?
My ears. And I got hit by a little bit of it last time we went out.
Right.
And once again, it just hit you and made everything go winky wonky in your eyes.
Right. And
it was interesting.
Yeah.
Don't like getting hit with infrasound.
Did you get a weird feeling, like a freaked out feeling, like, we got to get out of here?
No, I got just like confused and couldn't focus.
Right. Well, there's been lots of different reports of people reporting how they felt after,
damn it! Now Mick is threatening me with domestic mailing as opposed to international. Damn it!
That's pretty good.
I think you can legally send meatloaf in the mail. I think you can in the U.S., but I don't know if it'll come across the border there, Mick.
I don't know if you would want to, though. Ugh.
Probably smell like that skunk ape when it gets to my home, opening up and wanting to Sam Hill. I'm doing my
we've ordered some stuff online. You would think you don't go shopping online, all right? But there's a company, I don't know, some of you guys may be familiar with it, and it's called Swans. And the Swans, it's SCHWANS. And they had the greatest ice cream, man. And I ordered some. You can order it online. And it'll show up at your door. The guy, pulls up in a Swans truck. And I figured, well, I'm probably going to it'll probably be like the thickness of milkshake or something. But no, it was frozen. It was fine. Weird.
I had a thought, but I lost it.
Sorry,
because you mentioned ice cream, and it was like, bing.
Ice cream, yeah. And yes, if you've never had Swans,
I have. Yeah.
Maple pecan, I think it is. You haven't lived.
I haven't tried that one yet. I've tried Swans. I like it, but I haven't tried the maple pecan.
Yeah, it's awesome. Maple nut, I think is what it's called.
Oh,
but
okay.
I'd have to go back.
The emphasis is on nut.
Lord.
It's a nice pecan, and not pecan. It's a nice pecan-based ice cream. It's really good. That's why I'm so fat, probably.
One of my
I haven't had any in several years. But
one of my favorites is when you go to Amish country, you have shoe fly pie.
Shoe fly pie.
I haven't tried that.
That sounds good.
It's like a cinnamon butter filling.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's so good. Very sweet.
No, Robert, it's the Swans, not the Swartz.
May the Schwartz be with you.
Oh, man.
Yes, they're making a Spaceballs too.
Oh.
Yes, I heard that.
Oh, Corvell ice cream. Oh, okay.
Now, I remember
I'll have to try that, Mick.
Carvel ice cream.
Carvel. Okay.
Yes, they used to, back in the early 80s.
Right.
They used to have a guy, the guy who owned Carvel did his own commercials.
Yeah.
And they used to have different, like, decorated cakes.
Yeah.
Like, one of their cakes was Fudgy the Whale, right? And he has a little cake, a little ice cream cake with a whale on it, right?
Huh.
Right? And then they have all kinds of others. For Father's Day, they have a bow tie cake, right? Ice cream cake, right?
Never knew it. Yeah.
So there, Bob Nelson, there was this comedian, Bob Nelson, who did and he was in New York City, and he did a great imitation of the Carvel ice cream store. It's like, welcome to your local participating Carvel ice cream store. This week we have Fudgy the Whale cake, which actually is the bow tie cake, just turned and colored differently, for on sale this week. And that's all it was. They just turned them all. And,
Oh, that's funny.
Man.
Yes, Mick remembers that. Welcome to your local participating Carvel ice cream stores. I remember that.
I have not seen that. I missed out on that. Missed out on those commercials.
And there's a reason why, folks. I can put out these beautiful New York accents is because my parents were from the Bronx, so I heard it all the time. And then the other thing is my father, when he was married the first time around, lived in Beacon, New York, right next to a gentleman who is a Hasidic Jew. And he would have conversations with him. And my father, when I was growing up, would always imitate him talking. So now, goddammit, I can talk like I got an accent. Oy vey.
Well.
I played an acidic Jew in a commercial one time.
Oh,
Well, I was lucky enough. Of course,
Did
know
you-
the Carvels was probably out of this area. They probably didn't serve Kentucky.
did you? I got to ask George this. George, when you played the brother Jew, did you get all verklempt? You should be so lucky.
I should be so lucky.
Anyway, I love accents. I love accents. It's not meant really to make fun of anybody, but they're just so fun to be able to. Many years ago, I used to do that accent around my fire department every once in a while as a joke.
Yeah.
And I remember one day I'm sitting there at the firehouse, and the president the vice president of the fire, I was president of the fire company that year, and the vice president of the fire company walks in. I was like, oh man, I'm all beat. I had to put the Christmas tree up today. Oh, you celebrate Christmas? Well, yeah. Why wouldn't I? Well, you're not Jewish? No, I'm Lutheran.
Oh man. Everybody thought you were Jewish.
Oh, yeah, he did, because I did it so good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Well,
I can also do Fred Sanford.
Oh no.
I do him. Lamont, you big dummy. I mean, I do him very well.
Oh,
Lamont died.
Esther, I could stick your face in dough and make gorilla cookies. Anyway,
well, I was lucky enough though. I didn't get to experience the Carvel commercials because they're not. We were in Kentucky. But while I was living in New Mexico in the 80s, there was a place called Cal Worthington, Ford, Chevrolet, Dodge. He had a bunch of different dealerships. And he made some very iconic commercials trying to sell cars. And I did get to see those as they came out, the new commercials. And they have them on YouTube today. If you you go look up Cal Worthington, and he's always had some sort of animal with him. And he said, this is Cal Worthington and his dog Spot. And then he's got a Bengal tiger,
nice.
They were hilarious. And I showed some of those commercials, shared them with my kids. We watched them on YouTube. Oh, these were great. I love those.
That's fun.
I never did go. I mean, there's one commercial on YouTube where he's talking about a Camaro he has got a price on. And I was actually considering going to California to buy that Camaro because it was a really good price. But that was in the mid 80s. And never did. But now that was back when you could write a check for a car.
Mm-hmm.
Most people can't do that now.
No. No, there's definitely different prices then than what they are now.
Oh yeah.
Well, it is that time, Chris.
Man, the music came on. So well, thank you, George, for being on with us. We want to thank our special guest, George Lunsford, for being with us. Great Bigfoot researcher, great guest, and please, I hope you'll come back and join us for another show. In the future.
I appreciate you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And George, I hope you had as much fun here as we had tonight as well.
Very much so.
So
And,
we always have a fun time here. It's not
it.
all the straight just the Bigfoot facts. We have a lot of fun here, and that's part of the show. There'll be times when we'll have field stuff and other stuff going on. It's a little bit cold to be doing that right now.
If we didn't enjoy it, we wouldn't be doing it.
That's right.
That's it. That's why we do our show.
Yeah. And I want to thank everybody over in the chat for joining us tonight. We thank you guys, our regular members, and a few new names I saw come in there. If you hadn't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. It helps us. helps us fight that YouTube algorithm because we're struggling here. Come on, guys.
Yeah, everybody, please hit that thumbs up for us, please.
Smash that thumbs up if you hadn't already. Yeah, we appreciate you guys. And, this is only possible because of you. And thank you so much for your support. We're honored and thrilled that you would choose to hang out with us. And believe me, guys, we appreciate you. We know we got the greatest audience in the world. And we're lucky to have you. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
And thank you to Danny Weeks for the super chat tonight. And just a reminder, everybody pop over and get that free Squatch Detective report. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to have, as investigations start crawling on, we will be putting more and more different stuff in that newsletter. So totally free, 100%. No strings attached. But anyway, we do have the greatest audience in the world. I want to thank George for coming on tonight. Brother, it was great having you on. Loved every second of it. And we will be back here hopefully on Wednesday night. If not, I will leave a note for everybody over on I'll make a post on the YouTube channel. So just keep an eye out. If you see something, we're not going to have a show. If you don't, and you see it scheduled, we're going to have a show. This week is a little sketchy. I'm pretty sure we'll have a show Friday night. I'm not sure about Wednesday yet. But anyway, love you guys. We will see you here all next time, whenever that may be. But real soon. All right, folks. Have a good night. Love you guys. Stay safe. God bless. Of course, keep on squatching. See y'all.
We thank you for being here with us on Squatch-D TV. If you haven't taken the time yet, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And oh yes, hit that notification bell too. We don't want you to miss anything. If you really like our content, you should consider becoming a member. And it's really inexpensive and a great way to support not only the show, but honest Bigfoot research. Everyone have a great week. Be safe and God bless. We will see you all here next time on Squatch-D TV. Keep on squatching.